Welcome back, superstars. His name is Aaron, and he is sleepwalking right now.
His name's Tommy, and he's the world's leading expert on all things crunk.
And you're listening to the SuperPod Saga. That's right. The SuperPod Saga, the podcast that you are listening to, the best podcast in the world. If you're a first-time listener, welcome. This is the podcast where Aaron or me, Tommy, bring a different video game topic to discuss. We often have a guest, and they discuss things too. Their opinion is almost as good as ours.
Oh, take that, Joe Rogan.
Yeah. And we're joined today by Nave from Gaming Together, a cooperative podcast. But if you're a longtime listener, you probably heard him before. Hi, Nave.
Hello. This is the first time we've actually spoken, Tommy.
It is. Speaking of not knowing if someone exists, I didn't know if you exist. That was the
Oh shit.
Yeah. Why don't you tell if anyone doesn't know who you are, which would be ridiculous. Tell them about yourself, about your podcast. What video games do you like?
Well, I'm Nave. I'm the local schizophrenic gamer. Me and my friend Philip, we like to play co-op games together as much as we can and try to talk about one every week. We've been doing a lot of experimentation, so we've been taking a note out of SuperPod Saga's book, and we've been just doing generalized gaming topics and reading things off of weird posts off of like Reddit and stuff, because that's become one of our favorite segments, finding the weirdest things possible and just trying to discuss them, inspired by discovering Chris Chan. So,
oh man, that's a deep rabbit hole.
Yeah, it's terrible. They just released an episode that about that really long video documentary series on YouTube.
I know of it, but I never watched it.
Don't do it, please. But
okay.
Me and Philip we're almost done. They literally just released an episode yesterday, but I was inebriated, so I couldn't emotionally handle that burden. There's no way.
No one should put themselves through that. Yeah, let's it's the section where we ask the Discord people, right, Aaron? Or hey, hold on. Nave, where can people find you and your podcast on the internet, on social media?
So we're on normal podcast catchers. Gaming Together usually finds us, but on Twitter we're at Game Together Pod, and we have a Facebook page. I'm not sure how that works, and we have an Instagram where we upload our we have cute little thumbnails usually for our episodes if we're not too overburdened by the stress of life.
Yeah.
Also a bunch of memes and videos and stuff. Sometimes we're streaming. We get VODs that get put up there.
Nice. What about us, Aaron? Where can people find us?
If they can handle the emotional baggage that is SuperPod Saga.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I know. It's superpodsaga.com. That's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Just superpodsaga.com. Episodes, blog, support page if you like it. Holy shit. Support.
We need deep support.
That was like a curse. Like a demon took him over.
I just took a big gulp of coffee and it got stuck in my throat. Our support page, because if you like the show, help us out, please help us. But superpodsaga.com.
Yeah. And to get things started, we asked the Discord group a question, which is a Discord that you can join and voice your opinion on. What did we ask them this week, Aaron?
Well, because I'm a fucking stupid asshole, and I messed up I double booked guests again, but I mean it worked out. I asked the Discord, what is your favorite era from your personal gaming history? By era, I mean like a period in time in your own history of gaming.
Nice. We can have a little mini discussion in the middle of this episode about not that.
Yeah, in the last episode we were like, oh yeah, the next episode's gonna be about our own gaming history, which was what the other guest I had booked picked, and then I looked through my notes and I was like, oh shit, there's 2 guests for tomorrow, and I was like, I didn't want to edit a fucking 2.5 hour episode with 4 guests.
And I do not prefer having 2 guests because it just becomes a mess. Not a mess, but it's just more difficult.
Yeah,
it is more difficult, but I love the chaos. Aaron can tell you about the 8-person episode we had one time.
Was that the trivia
draft?
It was a draft, and there was a draft. Like we made our own we made up our own consoles, and then we drafted IP to be first party
Ah,
exclusives. And this is funny because Aaron's fucking mic shit out in the second half of the recording. And so the second half of the episode just doesn't have Aaron in there. So I had to edit around him the entire
amazing.
episode. Every time we were directly replying to him. Damn it.
I
Oh,
know.
incredible. Podcasting, everyone.
That's
So let's read what some people said. And again, you can also say things in the Discord and we will read it on the episode. That's what's happening right now. Valerian said Halo 3, so I guess middle school, but nothing beats that time.
middle school's pretty cool. I mean,
Yeah.
no more recess.
Yeah.
Kind of sucks, but like, yeah, middle school's cool.
Recess was the best.
I had this class in middle school that was like a tech class, but they just had a bunch of computers that we played Sim Tower and Sim City on and shit all the time, and that was it. That was the whole class.
Dude, that's perfect. That's the class I want to take.
Aaron, do you remember in elementary school there was one day where the teachers didn't just come out to supervise recess?
I don't.
Yeah,
All I
so then it
remember from
became like, what is it?
Lord of the Flies.
What is that? Yeah, well, I was thinking of the movie based, like not based on it, but like inspired by it. You know what
Children
I'm
of
talking
the
about?
Corn?
No, like the more recent one, the I Volunteers tribute,
Oh, Hunger Games.
Hunger Games. Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
No, it did turn into chaos though, and then all the teachers just came out at once. So I theorized that they were like doing an experiment just to see what would happen if they didn't watch. It was
All
so
I
weird.
remember-
Okay.
All I remember from recess in middle school is I was either playing Digimon, got hit in the face with a basketball and broke my glasses,
Oh, yeah.
or I was playing the Pokemon card game. That's it.
There were
Yeah,
these kids that
we had
I used to
different
hang out
recess
with.
experiences.
These kids I used to hang out with, and we would get on the monkey bars and we would play Dragon Ball Z and just shove each other off
Oh, that sounds
Yeah.
fucking
into the
awesome.
fucking pebbles below. Yeah, and somehow no one ever got hurt.
The pebbles.
Amazing.
Those pebbles
Oh.
work.
Dude, speaking of pebbles working, Deadbeat Punk says Game Boy Color, all downhill from there. Game Boy
Yeah.
Color is cool. Not as cool as
I had
Pebbles,
a-
but it's cool.
I had a special Pokemon edition, and it had it had a Pikachu and Jigglypuff on the front, and then someone
Yeah.
stole it.
I
It's probably
also
better.
had that with the little yellow Game Boy.
Yep.
And I was really late to the Pokemon series because I was a poor kid. And
Mhm.
one day I was peeing and my hands just let go, and I let go of the Game Boy and it fell into my piss water.
No.
I had to get my mom to fish it out, and she was really upset. Of course, it was ruined.
Oh,
So-
that sucks.
That does suck.
Um, Bill from the GNC Podcast Network said 2013 to 2018, right after I graduated high school, but before I had any real responsibilities. Game collecting was arguably at its peak before it became the shit show it is today.
That's right. Game collecting is fucking stupid now. Like, everything's expensive.
So expensive.
I've given up. I've given up on mostly anything physical at this point.
Yeah,
For real.
I recently went to Amazon.com to purchase
that was your
Metal
first
Gear
mistake.
Acid.
Don't ever buy
I know.
retro
Well,
games on Amazon.
I don't buy old games anymore, so I didn't know. And
Oh.
Konami is selling Metal Gear Acid, and I was like, perfect. But it's $100, and I'm like, why is it $100?
Ugh,
So old.
nuts.
This makes me
Speaking-
laugh in Magic the Gathering player.
Yeah, no kidding.
8-Bit Alchemy, he says, got to be the N64 and PS1 era. So many all-time faves from those two consoles. That is a good era. You forgot the Saturn, but yeah,
We got those 3D graphics.
Yeah, and the one control stick on the N64.
Real
Perfect.
Dave Jackson said, after a few years out of gaming, picking up a PS4 and catching up on all the stuff I'd missed from that generation. The Witcher 3, Nier Automata, Yakuza 0, God of War, Persona 5, so many great games.
I like that you pronounce zero as Zira, like
I
you're
know, I kept
like you're a
trying.
Wild West guy.
Hey, you just had to rhyme. We're doing rhythm
Yakuza
games.
0.
Yeah, he had to rhyme. It's like thematic.
Oh
I
fuck!
can't believe you didn't
brain
catch
broke.
it, Aaron.
I'm just gonna cut myself out of this episode. I fucked it all up. Chan, he says 1996 to 2000. When I was 10 to 14, playing banger after banger on PS1. Yeah, there's so many
Yeah.
fucking awesome games on that.
Yeah, we probably have an
Yeah.
episode about it where you could check out and hear us talk about it.
Maybe maybe.
Dracus has my favorite answer. 1998, 1996, 2001, 2006, 2008. Best eras.
Well, hold on. Let me just Google every single one of those just to check out and make sure he's right.
I don't think I can name a single game that came out in 2008 because like at that point I was just ready to get the
2008.
fuck out of Chatsworth,
That
dude.
might
I was
have
like, I
been
don't...
Red Dead.
Oh, that sounds right.
Was Red Dead? Red Dead was out then?
It might
Hear
have
about
been,
all
or
this?
it was 2009. It's close. 2010. I was off by 2 years.
I almost did a fucking
Jeez.
tangent. So I'm just gonna be quiet.
No tangents. No
That's-
tangents.
That's my specialty on our show. Like
No,
it's
we're
the
fine
hey,
with
you ever
tangents.
hear about this thing? And then we're talking
Yeah.
about something for 20 minutes. It has
Yeah.
nothing to do with what.
We do that a lot too. It'll be me going off about sitcoms or like Tommy and like something about baseball or something.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
You know, in my
Um,
attempt to stop the tangent, I in fact made another tangent.
Yeah, you did. We're tangenting about tangents.
Yeah, great. I'm just gonna shut up.
Holy shit. Hag himself says PS2 era, like late 90s to early thousands. So many great games and ton of great memories. Yes, definitely. Like Prince of Persia Warrior Within and all the Godsmack they had in it. That was
Oh,
that
so
was
much
alright.
Godsmack.
Yep. Remember Godsmack?
The Butcher 21 says, "Oh man, that's really tough. If I had to pick, the Sega Genesis was my absolute favorite. We had so many obscure games. LOL.
That's true, yeah.
I played
Like-
Risk on the Sega Genesis.
Dude,
I
Gaiaris?
hated the
Tommy?
Sega Genesis.
What?
Oh man. I'd love to ask if Tommy ever
I-
played Gaiaris, but
I had never had a
play
Sega console, so I was playing like I had the
Same.
SNES before, and my dad sold it to get a Genesis, and we had Sonic, and I'm like, this isn't Mario World. What the fuck? Why can't it like? Why
I
is
wanna-
it telling me to go fast, and then I go fast for 2 seconds, and I crash into a spike? I
Oh,
can't.
I
even see
hated it. That's the same experience I had with Sonic as a kid. I was like, this is unplayable.
I've
The
always
music's a
thought that
bop,
too.
though.
I don't know where to go. I keep falling or going up, and stupid.
I'd
Yeah,
play
like-
a rhythm game spin off of Sonic. Just a bunch of
Oh,
classic tracks. You know what I mean? Have Sonic's bouncing around all over the place. I don't know what
Yeah.
they're
Damn.
called.
Yeah.
you gotta note that down in the $1 million ideas
Write it down, write it down.
section. That's a good one. Holy shit.
Yeah, cut this part
Um,
out. Put it in the Patreon.
Trademark. Hocham, sorry, we still don't know how to say that. I feel like my GBA era was peak since I just replayed Red Mystery Dungeon a bunch. I didn't play that one, but the GBA was fucking
hmm
solid, like super
I think
slappy.
the GBA Advance SP was my favorite handheld
Yeah.
console.
I think it benefits from having the backwards compatibility too. Because if
Oh,
you had
hell
to
yeah.
ask, I don't know how many write-ins you have because I can't see the doc, but if you had to ask me what era I like the most, if you're playing on Xbox, I think definitely this era, the Series X era, is the best because there's so much
Yeah.
availability
Yeah.
of older games and stuff like that.
Fuck
yeah.
yeah. You can go back fucking
my-
3 generations. Sorry, go ahead, Tommy.
My wife liked playing Crazy Taxi in the arcade, which she had never experienced before. And she was like, I just want to play more of it. And I was like, well, let me check on the Series X. And I was like, hey, here's Crazy Taxi.
You pulled
Yeah.
out your
$30,
phone.
let's get it.
You were like, hold on, baby.
I'll
Daddy's
get you that Crazy Taxi.
Daddy's
Take me
gonna
to
get
Pizza
you.
Hut.
Yeah, fucking Pizza Hut. Remember Pizza Hut
Right.
buffets though? Oh, that
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah, dude.
pasta
Yeah.
and shit. Oh my god.
No, it's
I
not
remember-
Pasta Hut.
The last time I was at a Pizza Hut buffet, I saw someone sneeze into the pizza, and I was like, oh. But
You don't even.
what's weird, because now I'm thinking back, because I was a kid, and that's an integral memory. I'm like, don't eat at pizza buffets ever again. But that didn't apply to any other buffet. Like, I'll still go to Chinese buffets. I'm totally fine, even though it's the same exact situation. I've just never seen anyone sneeze into the
They
low
only
man.
sneeze
You know
at
what I mean?
Pizza Hut.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. See,
Like,
see
thank God the
motherfuckers.
crab rangoon is unmolested by the mucus.
Oh man.
Ryan-
Luckily though, like, sorry, I was gonna say, luckily, crab rangoons, you can just break off the outside part and just lick apart the shit on the inside.
That's
It's
true.
protected.
That's
Yeah,
true. It's
protective
like
layer.
a banana peel.
Yeah, it's like a Squirtle.
Tommy, you gotta stop us. Please stop us.
Ryan Player One said GameCube, PS2, Dreamcast era. It was just so good. Why did he include Dreamcast?
I
Because
love the Dreamcast.
that was in
No,
the
I'm
same
just
era.
kidding. I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay.
The
I was
Dreamcast,
saying that it wasn't good. That was my joke.
Yeah, I mean it
Tommy,
died for a
shut up.
reason, but it came out on my birthday, so I have like a really special memory of it. And also like that was like peak Tony Hawk for me. I was like playing
Oh,
Tony Hawk
yeah.
2 and 3 on it all the time. And the Chow Garden in that Sonic game.
Oh my
I
god,
keep
the
like
Chow Garden.
stepping. I'm like, ugh, Sega sucks, Sonic sucks. I love the Dreamcast. I love Sonic Adventure.
Dude, yes. God damn it. Fucking both Sonic Adventures are so fucking good. And like, have you ever played Power Stone? It's like Smash Bros, but like fucking crazier. Dude, oh my god.
No, that's a blind spot for me.
Dude, you gotta get a fucking emulator and play Power Stone 2. It's great.
Pirate. Become a pirate.
Yeah. Yar. Speaking of pirates, Rick Firestone. No, wait. No, yeah, Rick Firestone. Yeah, he kind of did. He said same as no. Skip.
No, that doesn't count.
Okay, that's a reply. That's right. Distorted Rules. His was an actual answer. Sorry, he said Halo Reach or Destiny 1, and I loved both of those.
Oh, Destiny 1 on release was the best.
Yes.
I was living at home after college, and I just broke up with my girlfriend, and in steps Destiny to make
Oh.
my life worth living.
That was Halo Infinite for me.
Oh,
I was like
man.
1 month into my breakup. Like I was dating the girl for 8 years, and then we
Oh.
broke up. And Halo Infinite came out a month later, like the multiplayer early release. And I was just like, I have a reason.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
So when you see me defending Halo Infinite online, which I do all the time, that's because I'm emotionally tied to that game at this point.
When there was a girl I was living with for like I think 2 years, and I finally left because she was just dumb, and I tried to fill that void with Dragon Quest Inquisition, but too bad that game sucks butt.
Yeah.
Man, I couldn't
God
get into
damn
that
it.
one either.
Did you like give her a quiz and she got like a 60 on it? And you're like,
Yeah,
I
like
can't do this
just
anymore.
a genuine
I was
intelligence
like,
quiz.
I was like, if you could beat me in a match of Yu-Gi-Oh, I'll stay. But she didn't because I'm the king of games, baby.
Oh no, I can't play a game of Yu-Gi-Oh. I'll be miserable the whole time. Didn't you try to make me play Yu-Gi-Oh? Was that
Yeah, we
you
did.
guys?
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
you and Red Fox, and then me and Jono.
That was pretty fun. I was stomping though because I'm
Yeah, you
really good at
fucking
card
were.
games. I'm like, oh, I get this. I
The
can just
Dragon Maids
fucking
are
do it.
those Dragon Maids are really fucking good though. Tommy,
It's my
help us.
turn.
Yep.
Chan said another favorite of mine is the original Xbox one,
Mhm.
KOTOR 1 and 2. Excuse me, Morrowind. Modding it with Flashbox was sick. We had Blockbuster Online, so you could keep trading in and out games unlimited. So we would install a game on the hard drive and just keep going. Pretty sick.
Wait, what the fuck? That was a thing?
Some of those,
Blockbuster
yeah,
Online?
I didn't know what any of that was. I've never been to a Blockbuster.
Oh really?
God.
Yeah.
Once again,
don't-
You
Iowa,
didn't miss
rural,
much.
They don't have any in rural Iowa.
rural Iowa has deprived us of yet another cool fucking thing. Fuck
Yeah.
you, Iowa.
I didn't have Chinese food until I was in college.
Wait, what?
That,
Tommy,
I didn't
there's
have
Chinese
food until I was in college.
It's all over the place.
I know, but
Yeah, I
I'm
was
just
like-
saying.
I grew up in a small Oklahoma town, and I had 3 Chinese restaurants to choose from.
Yeah, like
I
there
thought
was
it was
one.
gross. How wrong I was. Holy cow, was I wrong?
Yeah. Oh yeah, there we go. Bachwheel. He says my 2 favorites are the Genesis era, where I really got to love gaming, and the Xbox era, where I got back into gaming after giving up on new games during the early 3D days.
Yes.
Those are good.
Quite.
Yeah, I like the Genesis. Much to
I'm
Nave's
scrolling.
chagrin.
Yeah.
Oh,
You guys
we
can like
got-
what you like. You're
I'm
wrong,
just
but that's
joking.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The next one is from ScrapDog15, who said, "My favorite era of gaming has to be when I was in high school, playing a ton of NCAA football, and then during the summers going to Judge Brett's house and playing Super Mario Strikers. Another era that I am fond of too is just out of college, where a bunch of us buddies would meet up at our houses and all bring PCs or laptops and game all day."
Whoa, is there a 4th person in here? It's like he's actually here telling us the write-in.
Yeah, that sounds just like ScrapDog. Trust me on that.
Oh, we love you. We love you, Scrap Dog. Anubis Hero, he says favorite era was 2011, 2013 with Borderlands and Borderlands 2, Alan Wake, and of course Halo Reach. Yep.
It's 2 Halo Reaches.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of Halo reaches. No love for Halo 3. I'll shout it out. Halo 3 is better.
Yeah.
Good
Halo
shout out.
3 is awesome.
Good shout out. And that's it.
And
That's
then
all.
And then we asked the patrons because they wouldn't fucking answer me, so I just gave them a different question. We love you, patrons, by the way. Thank you for your support. What 3 games really define your taste in video games? And fuck, I lost my spot. There we go.
Here
Chris
it is.
ANC from A Novel Console. He says, "Oh man, Star Fox 64, Cyberpunk 2077, and Pikmin 4. Narrowing it down to 3 is hard as hell,
Yeah, it is.
but you did it.
Just Distorted Rules, which was up there a little bit,
Oh fuck.
said Borderlands, more specifically number 2, Witcher 3, and South Park: The Stick of Truth. Son of a bitch.
Trick of Stew. Hocham Hacham. So I think taste wise, I can be summed up by Psychonauts 1, but also 2, Stardew Valley, and WoW. And then
Wow.
you want me to read the
I
rest
get
too?
it.
No.
Okay. Thank you, patrons. We love you.
Jameson said, "I'm out and about today. Let me try to get back to you. If you don't hear from me in time, I'm sorry in advance."
It's okay, Jameson. We still love you.
It's a really interesting top 3 list.
It's a really interesting one.
Do you guys have top 3 list? Real quick, off the top of the dome.
Ooh.
What was the question?
I don't remember. Top 3 something.
Yeah.
What
Video games?
what? Yeah, what 3 games really define your taste in video games?
Okay. Red Dead Redemption.
Okay.
The Stanley Parable.
Okay.
And
Rocket League?
No.
MLB 99 the show or something.
We'll just
MLB
say MVP
2005?
Baseball 2005. Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Okay, that's what I was Final Fantasy 9, Earthbound. I'm drawing a huge
Yeah,
blank.
the third one's hard.
Nave, you go.
Nave, you go.
I'd probably say off right now it'd be Rock Band, probably Halo 3, and Spec Ops: The Line.
Ooh.
Nice.
Spec Ops, man.
I like to hurt.
I don't know. MVP Baseball 2005. I don't fucking
There you
know.
go.
Was
Good
that the
pick.
one you said?
Good pick.
Okay, yeah.
Crazy
Yeah.
sexy.
Again.
Pizza Hut.
Join Pizza Hut. That's my third favorite game. Join the Discord, and you can tell us things about games.
Yeah, you can. Maybe. Yeah, it's on our website
What?
right there at the very top right.
And then they'll read it out while they're telling you things about games.
Yeah.
There's multiple people talking about games.
That's pretty much all it is.
We'll tell them how wrong they are about gaming.
But we're here today to talk about a specific genre of games. Right, boys?
Yes.
See.
Yes, chef.
Yes. We're talking about rhythm games. Rhythm and blues and music, those kinds of things, right? What do you guys like in rhythm games? Do you like rhythm games?
Well, yeah.
I'm a
that's right.
hardcore addict. Like
What-
anything that has any type of rhythm mechanic, I just get really drawn into, no matter what. Like there's something wrong with me.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you know why that is? Because I do the same thing. Like,
Mhm.
I get to the point where I'll like try and find a rhythm game on my phone just so I have something rhythm to do, but there's nothing good on phones.
I don't want to get into like genetic theory or anything, but I really do contribute it to being part Japanese. I think that has a lot to do with it.
Dude,
Because,
absolutely.
it's like I got a little Japanese in me, and then I look across the ocean, and I'm like at all their games. Have you guys ever been to like what is it, Round One? Those arcades.
No.
Like half of the arcade is like dedicated to Japanese rhythm games, and it is heaven.
What? Oh my
It
gosh,
is
that sounds
so
amazing.
cool. Yeah, I would just like do like a YouTube like walkthrough of one of them. But like there's a whole bunch of cool claw machines and stuff. I don't want to go on a tangent about that, but like there's a million super interesting rhythm games, and you can't understand them. So they're all in Japanese. So you're just like, all right, I'm just gonna hit the buttons when they come. I'm sure that's right.
Do they have any of those in Iowa?
Probably.
Oh,
They have one in Oklahoma, so
so there's a chance.
They're saying, yeah, there's probably a
Aaron, why
chance
do you
though.
like rhythm games?
I think I just really love video game music, and then I love like playing along with those sweet tunes. I didn't really get into rhythm games until probably when Guitar Hero came out. So I don't think there were very, very many up until Guitar Hero, and then I grew to really love them, and yeah.
Nice.
I guess-
Excellent.
And
Excellent.
I guess I'll start us off because it's my topic, right?
Yeah, do it. Yeah, it
Okay.
is.
So the first one that I jotted down is one that's super fucking unique. It's Everhood. Have you guys played Everhood?
Everhood. I think I've heard
Negative.
of it.
I think I went on like a big tangent to you,
Yeah,
Tommy,
yeah,
about
yeah,
it
yeah.
one time.
You
It's
did. Yep.
okay. Okay, so Everhood is just insane. So it's got this minimalist like pixel art style where it's like uh, I don't want to say it's like Undertale, but it does look like Undertale a little bit. It's they
That's the
left you
first thing in Google. Whenever you type in Everhood, it's like Everhood Undertale. I'm like, okay.
yeah, god damn it. And was it they there's lots of black like in every background. There's lots of black and then there'll be like like tree
A
like
monster.
whether you're in like a forest with mushrooms and shit, you'll be in like a dance club, a go-kart track, shit like that. Um and
Whoa.
it's yeah, it's so you play as Red and he just looks like a wooden puppet. Um and he has like this red cloak on him and hood and everything like that. And so you wake up, he doesn't know really where he is, what he is, who he is, anything like that. He just knows that he's red because he has a red cloak and shit. And he's missing an
Mhm.
arm. So like the first half of the game, you're trying to track down who stole his arm, and you come across this like blue gnome guy who stole your arm but sold it to some big bad guy named Gold Pig, and you're like, hey, you're coming with me to get my arm back, and he's like, cool dog, all right. And then you go find your arm, and like once you do get your arm back, shit goes fucking crazy because like so the first half when you don't have your arm, the rhythm battles, if you want to even really call them that, like it'll be almost like Guitar Hero where you have like these three lanes with like projectiles coming at you, and you don't have any way of attacking or anything like that, and you don't have to follow the rhythm at all. It's just like the projectiles come out based on the rhythm, and you just have to survive the whole song basically. Or on like the rare occasion, enemies will just give up at some point, but you just move from lane to lane, dodge projectiles. You can jump over them too. You can, um, when you get to the second half of the game, when you get your arm back, you get the ability to absorb red projectiles, and you can shoot them back at the opponent to damage them. Um, 'Cause in the first half, you just survive the song until it's done, but in the second half, you just keep playing the song over and over and over until you beat the enemy. And I don't want to spoil like any more of the game because it's really fucking good. But the story is fucking nuts, and everything that happens in the game is fucking nuts. Plus, the first character you meet in the game is a frog with a banjo, and he's sitting on a
Hmm.
mushroom, and it's cool.
Do you get to
This
kill him like the cow in
No,
Undertale?
he, no, he's like the god of Everhood, banjo frog.
Isn't the cow? I mean, I've seen so much fan art of that cow. I assume that cow is God or something too.
Cow. I'm gonna look that up. Yeah, I'm
Yeah, the
not sure.
cow
tell
lady,
us about the cow.
cow mommy, cow mommy in
Are you talking
Undertale.
about Undertale? Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh no, there's no
For real.
like. I guess the blue gnome guy is the cow mommy. I don't know.
I bet if you typed in cow mommy, you're gonna get Undertale
You know I'm gonna try
in the
it.
images.
Oh
Oh
no.
no,
Well,
Oh
I'm
nope.
using Bing Chat, so it's probably different.
Yeah,
no, I just
I'm
see
using
cows
Bing for
being
some.
Yeah, it's just
mothers.
cows. Yeah. Adorable
Well,
What?
cows.
you disappointed
Cows
me,
are cool.
internet.
Dang. How disappointing. So you said that it's not really like moving to the beat, it's just dodging the beats?
Yeah, it essentially it's dodging the beats, and
Interesting.
then yeah, there's like each of the songs that the characters I guess attack with is super fucking unique and catchy. Like you'll never hear the same song twice, obviously unless it's like background music. But each song is super unique and catchy, and you can find them on like YouTube Music because I'm fucking stupid and I use YouTube Music, or you can get it on Spotify if you want. But yeah, it's a great game, and it's like 15 or $20.
Neat. I'm surprised that more people haven't made games based off of the Guitar Hero track things coming down, because that's such like a a huge reference point for so much of music gaming.
Oh, it is
Yeah.
all over Japanese rhythm gaming. There's a lot of them.
Oh,
There's a lot of cool iterations too, like the horizontal bar. I'm not sure how much I enjoy the horizontal bar, but there is something to be said that if it is horizontal, you obviously see a lot more of the track. So
mm-hmm.
there's like something going on there, which means you can make it go faster, which means it looks a lot more impressive to people who are watching because it looks
Yep,
like
yep.
nonsense. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Speaking of Guitar Hero, I just want to talk about Guitar Hero 3 and get that out of the way, because that was the game that got me into rhythm gaming and just consumed my life like nothing else.
Same.
I had it on the Nintendo Wii, so I could put the Wii remote in the guitar, and so it had the sounds coming out of the guitar and had the vibrating in there. So I was cooler than other people. Um, Man, what a great the guitar, like it got me into so much music that I never would have experienced if not for that game. Like I became a huge fan of the Strokes and
Yep,
Queens
me
of the
too.
Stone Age, and it just has so much music that like came to define me as a person. And it's all because of Guitar Hero 3. And it's fun to play. It makes me feel like I'm playing a real guitar, so much so that I tried to learn to play guitar and failed miserably and went back to Guitar Hero. Um, Nave, I don't know if you heard, I talked about it on the podcast before, but I had so much fun with Guitar Hero that I went to buy a real guitar, and I was super confused when I got it because I was like, why are there 6 strings here? How am I supposed to play this with 6 strings? Guitar Hero only has 1 that I need to worry about.
Guitar Hero definitely. If you play Guitar Hero then go to guitar, it's definitely a lot worse than if you were playing guitar and then went to Guitar Hero.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of like really small nuances, but like you go into guitar already having a bunch of like bad habits, like
Oh,
hammer-ons and pull-offs. They don't function the
No.
same way in real life,
No.
and then they do on Guitar Hero, but they're very similar. So that muscle memory is like, it's been the fucking bane of my existence for a decade.
Like
on real guitar,
moving up and down one string I can do just fine, but if I have to move to other strings, it's impossible.
My favorite thing about Guitar Hero is that for a lot of people, especially our age, that it's the first time that we've ever like been able to sit down and think about music critically.
Yeah.
In a way that like, so whenever you're playing Guitar Hero, like literally the entire game is the music.
Mhm.
And whenever if you want to get better at the game, you have to start to understand what it is that you're playing. You have to like be able to differentiate the guitar track and even the bass track if you're playing multiplayer.
Yeah.
You have to be able to differentiate that from the music, and like you start to understand like patterns in like with the like how all of the instruments are kind of synchronized and stuff like that. You hear cues and stuff, like you hear transitions, and like it really, for people who are musically inclined, opens that third eye, like if you're young and you're experiencing this stuff.
Yeah, or if you're like me and not musically inclined, it makes you feel like you're musically inclined, which is even better because I just came to love all these songs and I loved guitar on these songs and other songs, and so just being able to feel like I was actually doing that and like just knowing that there's a difficult part and managing to hit it like that one time, being like, yes, I am good at music. Such a good feeling.
Or like that one time where what is it? I played with the controller a lot, and I managed to nail the intro to Holiday in Cambodia, where like normally it's fucking ridiculous on expert, but I did it one time on expert on the controller. I did it one time, and I'm proud of that.
I'm proud of you too. Good job.
Yeah, thank you. How about you, Nave?
Guitar Hero 3 was, yeah, it was a huge part of my life. I'm more of a fan of Guitar Hero 2 because that was the one I spent a lot more time with. But 3 is definitely a lot more accessible, and it's obviously where one of the pinnacles of the music gaming genre. It of course introduced me to tons and tons of music, just like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater and Rock Band and all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It was a bonding moment for a lot of my friends as well. Not as much as Rock Band, because Rock Band was really that kind of penultimate for my friend group, where suddenly more than 2 people could play it at once. And there's these moments of like everyone getting their star power or overdrive in Rock Band activated all at once. Obviously Guitar Hero started following suit with their later games, but Guitar Hero 3 was really where we got a lot of where we really sharpened the sword before Rock Band. Guitar Hero let us walk before we could run.
Yeah, and Rock Band was super special too, like you said, just because you could sing, you could play drums, you could have 4 people. It was like actually playing in a band with your friends.
Yeah, if you listen to my show, you definitely know that I have my Rock Band kit out all the time, and I'm every week or two I'm hosting Rock Band parties where everyone's getting wasted, to much to my chagrin of my apartment neighbors. But we're playing Rock Band till like 1 a.m. and just fucking beating ass, and it's still a part of my life, so I greatly appreciate it. I mean, I guess we can staple Clone Hero onto the back of
Yeah,
this,
yeah.
so if people aren't aware, which I think almost everyone's aware at this point, you've seen YouTube videos of Asai playing that girl's ukulele apology on Guitar Hero.
Amazing.
Yeah. Clone Hero is amazing, and so Guitar Hero is probably never coming back because Clone Hero has surpassed
Mhm.
it. And so, if anyone wants to play that, then unfortunately the guitars are like 100 something, 200 something
Yeah.
bucks. But
Yep.
if you can get a hold of one of those, Clone Hero is insane.
Yeah, Clone Hero is amazing. I actually had that for a bit, and since I don't have any of my guitars anymore, because I gave them all to my younger cousins when they were kids, because I was like, oh, they'll have more fun with it than me. So I played it with my keyboard, where you hold it upside down like a guitar, and you use the F1 through F5 for the buttons, and you can. I mean, I use the enter button for my strumming, and I got surprisingly good at that.
That's cool. What was the first one on your list, Nave? Was it Guitar Hero 2?
No, my first one was actually Rocksmith.
Oh shit.
Yeah, tell me about Rocksmith.
Rocksmith is incredible for people who kind of got used to seeing that highway. I think we were talking about it earlier with the vertical highway for the notes. It is basically Guitar Hero but with real guitars, and it comes with an adapter it comes with an optic or an audio out. I don't remember what the jack is on the guitar is called off the top of my head, but then it converts to a USB, plugs into your Xbox console, and then you get to play along with games. The problem with like playing this on consoles, usually there's a pretty bad delay since most consoles are using HDMI and that's not optimized for audio and all that jazz. But if you're playing this on PC, which is where you should be playing it for the same reason Clone Hero exists, there's a lot of modded songs, so you can play Dragon Force and Gojira and all that awesome unofficial DLC. They did just recently come out with a new game.
Yep.
Like maybe a month ago, Rocksmith Plus. It's been out on the PC for a while, but now it's on Android and iOS.
Oh.
And it's a subscription service similar to Guitar Hero Live, what they tried to do, where you just pay monthly and then you get like there's a big catalog of songs that they're constantly adding to. And it really is just an awesome guitar learning tool. It's basically just a different way to play if you don't want to learn tabs or actual sheet music.
Have you used the Rocksmith Plus? Because I was really that seemed appealing to me, like just having so many songs on it available.
Yeah, I definitely I'm thinking about it. I'm waiting for the library to get a little bit more expansive and diverse because there's a handful of songs that I want to play on there, but most of my songs I already have with custom DLC and Rocksmith on the PC.
Sure.
And it's with the funny thing about that is that if you go onto the Rocksmith on Steam, the Steam page, the way that you do it, they broke one song, so you just have to buy Cherub Rock by the Smashing Pumpkins. Shout out to Guitar Hero 3. And it's funny, if you go right now to the Steam page and you look at Cherub Rock DLC and look at the Steam reviews, there's a million of them that are
No
just
way.
goofy. It's like the only song you're ever gonna need and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
That's incredible. That's
yeah, so Rocksmith Plus is you can go, there's a website you can like search through the songs and see what they have available, and I'll type in like Gojira and like Mastodon and stuff, and I get no results, and I'm like, okay, well I'll just wait for a little bit longer.
Sure.
Because my guitars always my two guitars are always tuned to drop D flat and drop C, so it's like a lot of the songs that are on there are E standard. I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to retune my guitars. I never want to retune my guitars.
You mentioned Guitar Hero Live. Was that the one where they changed the guitar?
Yeah, so that one's the one where there was three buttons in 2 rows, so 6 instead of 5, but you actually never had to move your hand. And it was an interesting idea because that was the barrier for almost everyone to get into hard, was their inability to adapt to moving their hand around. That's a huge hurdle because you've spent so much time only using those 4 buttons and like not moving your hand. And so the idea was that it would be simpler if you kept your hand in one spot and you just had two rows of 3 buttons that had different textures, so you always knew which button you were pressing down. And the cool thing about that game was that it actually, for a lot of songs, felt a lot more realistic to people who played real guitar. Like if you play the song "Killing in the Name" by Rage Against the Machine, Shout out to Guitar Hero 2. But like, if you played that song on Guitar Hero Live, it was super similar to how you play in real guitar, obviously without moving your hand around the neck. But like the fingering of the notes were almost exact, and it felt really intuitive and easy for someone who plays real guitar to jump into expert and kind of be able to function in that environment.
Sure. I'm that makes me glad to hear. I played it once in a GameStop and became enraged because I was like, "This isn't my Guitar Hero guitar. Why did they change it? They changed what I liked." And
I think the main thing was that Guitar Hero Live and Rock Band 4 were both coming out at the same time. And I'm sure that they knew about each other. They were aware of each other's existence and development because Rock Band, the thing about Rock Band is all the DLCs always moved forward. And so whenever Rock Band 4 came out, that was a huge deal. That's why it took so long to come out, was because they had to get licensing for all of the 1,500 DLCs that they had prior to move forward. And it took years to get that done, by the way. It didn't happen overnight. And so Guitar Hero, guys over at Activision, they're money grubbing assholes, and they're like, no fucking way are we relicensing all of these songs so that people can play them again. How about we completely change the way the game works? That way we have an excuse to not update. Which, I mean, that's a pessimistic view of it all. Obviously, like the change was very interesting for people who were like gaming enthusiasts, and I think that the Guitar Hero Live model was interesting as well,
Yes.
even though it was received poorly.
Yep.
Like having that jukebox and like kind of pay to play, and like you could pay for 24 hours of like free plays. It was very similar to like going to like a karaoke
Yeah,
bar or
totally.
something like that. But I played it a ton, and I never had to pay for plays. And I don't know if that was because of the outcry, so they nerfed how often, or they buffed how often you got like free tokens. But I always had an excess of free tokens, so I never had to replay stuff.
Yeah, I agree totally. It's definitely. I'm glad that they tried something different, just because if it would have taken off, it could have been like a really cool thing to have out there. But unfortunately, people were like me, and were like, "This isn't my Guitar Hero."
Yeah. It definitely, like, and in the music gaming industry, like, and it's never going to come back in the same way that it was. But that's fine.
Yeah, I experienced my love, and it's gone now, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Wait, did I even talk? What was my game? Oh yeah, Rocksmith. Yeah, I talked about it
Rocksmith.
enough.
Yeah.
Speaking of lost loves, I think Harmoknight. It's a little 3DS eShop only game, and guess who made it, Tommy? Don't look it up. Guess who made it?
Game Freak.
Yes.
Yes. Oh yes. Awesome.
Well, yeah, it's a little platformer, but like you don't really control the character moving. The main character Tempo, he automatically runs to the right no matter what, and basically you just time his like jumps and attacks and shit like that to the beat. And occasionally when you're fighting a boss, it's just like one big QTE fest where they're all timed to the beat of the song and everything. But it's of course being made by Game Freak. It's all super charming and like super fun, and all the songs are super catchy, and they also there's like a little weird, I guess, aspect to it is that like his little feet when he's running, they're like timed. Each step is like timed perfectly to the rhythm of the song too. Or if it's like dun 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 dun, or well, I guess that's a bad example, but yeah, it's just unfortunately if you don't already have the game, you're not going to be able to get it now because they closed the eShop, unfortunately. But
no.
But you could pirate it, you could emulate it or pirate it. Just, I mean, you could do that. That's the only way to play it now because they closed the eShop, Nintendo. Sorry.
Dang it,
no,
Nintendo.
Did you guys see that YouTube video from the completionist where he bought all of the games?
Yeah, dude.
Before the eShop shut us down. I think everyone who's listening, a lot of people, we're all enthusiasts. I think a lot of us have already seen this because it's a huge video, but go check it out. The completionist buying every game off of the eShop, because it turns out to be a total cascading clusterfuck for them, and it is such an interesting watch.
Yeah.
I can cuss on this show, right?
Oh yeah,
I probably cussed 100
Heck yeah,
times
you
by
can.
now, but
That's
this
fine.
time
You can
swear all the
cuss so
time. Fuck.
effing much.
Yeah.
Golly gee.
That's
Drat.
GD awesome.
Um,
Yeah, rats.
Rats.
Speaking of rats,
Speaking of
Rats.
actual rhythm games.
God damn it.
Sorry, Aaron.
It's okay. I was gonna pout the whole show.
I'm super curious, Nave, if you've played Spin Rhythm.
I have not.
Do you know what it is?
I don't.
Oh, okay, cool.
Is it a game dedicated
it's on
to the
the
Spin
Steam.
Doctors?
No, it's not.
Oh, Guitar Hero Spin Doctors.
Yeah.
Spin Rhythm is kind of
this is
hard
cool.
to explain. It's when I was talking earlier about just wanting a game that lets me do things to the beat and make me feel good by doing that. This is that game. It's tough to
crack.
It's tough to explain, but like you have a bar that has red and blue squares, and you can spin that bar as the notes will.
Ooh, sorry.
Son of a
It's
bitch.
all good, dude.
Turned up.
Son of a bitch. Instead of it being a solid lane of notes coming down, it's red and blue notes that come in various directions, and so you spin your red and blue bar to match the notes that are coming. And there's also other things like hitting the space bar, and you actually like you do spins to, and it's so hard to explain, but it's the first game in a long time that has made me get in that music groove where I'm not thinking, I'm not planning out, I'm just seeing the notes and hitting them as they come and doing all the different motions and stuff. It's tough to learn because there's a lot of things, but once you get it down, it's really cool. The only major downside is all of the songs are like electro pop and dancey stuff. There's no rock music, there's no guitars, so I don't know any of the music in it, but from what I understand, they're popular in their genre. I've seen people play it with actual like DJ disc spinning things because you can do that.
Oh yeah, like people playing Dark Souls with bananas.
Yeah,
and stuff
yeah,
like
exactly like that.
Fucking banana. What the fuck?
It's really cool. This game looks like it's on Nintendo Switch as well. So
Is it
on
really?
top of that, yeah. So it says on Google, so it might be lying, but also that other game that you were talking about before, Tommy, Everhood, also on the Switch. So I'm probably gonna buy those after this, both of those games on the Switch, so that I can experience those. But this game really, I don't know. I'm looking at it and it kind of reminds me of what is that Harmonix game?
Oh,
I'll never remember.
Gosh, I know what you're talking about, but I don't know the name of it.
DJ Hero?
Aaron,
no, it was
no.
Okay.
Aaron, no.
It doesn't matter. This game looks pretty good, and I like that thing that you were talking about, how you were like just hitting the buttons as they were coming and not thinking about it. Like that's something that me and Philip always tap into. We call it the flow state.
Yes.
Where you're really just kind of in harmony with a game, and rhythm games are particularly good at conjuring that state up if you start to get really, really into them. Even you don't even have to be good, because like in my Rock Band nights, most people play on medium, but they get into this moment where they're like they can't blink anymore. They're totally locked in. They're doing good. They've got a combo going, and it's like every time I glance over, because we're playing like fucking Arctic Monkeys or something, so it's like brain dead for me. But like, so I'm like looking at everyone and seeing how into it they are, and I'm just like, damn, I living vicariously through these people.
Yes.
Like a well-oiled machine.
Were you thinking of?
Hold on. There's a deluxe pack thing for Taiko no Tatsujin Rhythm Festival. It has Godzilla, Ultraman, and fucking Evangelion Unit 01. That's so awesome. Okay, now go.
Dude,
were you thinking of Frequency or Amplitude?
Amplitude is the one I was thinking of, but yeah, Frequency is that the sequel? No, Frequency is the first one.
Yep.
Yeah, those games are cool.
Oh man, look at this cover. You gotta look up the cover for Amplitude. It's a speaker, and the words coming out of it are David Bowie, Blink 182, Pink, POD, Run DMC, Garbage, Quarage? I can't read that last one.
It's a product of its time.
That's a cover.
For sure. Well, I guess this is a layup for me.
Lay it up.
Rock Band Rivals, which is the spiritual successor to those two games. This is a game I had on there. I don't know if you guys have ever heard it, but It was a Xbox Live Arcade game. I think it was on the PlayStation 3 network as well. But this game is exactly that. But what's really interesting. It's like, so imagine the spin rhythm game, but you have every instrument in your Rock Band songs And also, it has your entire DLC catalog of your Rock Band games that you've been collecting since this game came out after Rock Band 3. So a lot of people who were like really into it, like me, already had like 500 DLC songs, and this game was
That's
compatible
cool.
with all of them. It was incredible. And so essentially what you're trying to do is you're trying to, in Rock Band and Guitar Hero, you're constantly moving, like you're constantly getting your combos up so that your multiplayer goes up to ×4, which is the max, unless you're using your overdrive ×8, whatever. But like in this game, you want to bounce between all of the tracks and try and move them all up simultaneously to get a higher combo. And then at specific points in the song, usually like 8 or 9 different times throughout the song, there will be a moment where all of the combos like lock in, and that is now the default multiplayer. So if you get every instrument to ×4, ×4 is the default now, even if you screw it up. So now you can get everything up to ×8. And then you just keep climbing as the game goes on, and you're just jumping between the vocals and the drums and the guitar and stuff. And it's not nearly as complicated as it sounds, because in Guitar Hero and Rock Band, there are 5 buttons. In this game, there's only 2, left or right. So you only have to think about left, right, and then switching to a different path. And so it's very addicting for somebody who's like really into different instruments and stuff like that. And also for this game is clearly discontinued, but
the website's still up, which is kind of fun. Introducing Rock Band Rivals, the best party game on the planet.
Party game. That's interesting because it's a single player only game. So
weird. What a unique idea.
Is it Rock Band 4 Rivals, or like I'm having a hard time trying to find Rock Band Rivals?
Oh wait, hold on. Oh, did I type in the? Hold on. I might have typed the wrong name. Oh, I'm a goober. Yeah, Rock Band Rivals is Rock Band's. Rock Band Blitz is the game I'm talking about.
Blitz. Rock Band Blitz. Ah, this
Blitz.
looks much different than what I was looking at.
There we go.
Sorry, everyone.
That's all good.
Okay.
Yeah, according to our good friend Wikipedia, it came out in 2012.
Yeah, so this is the one where it has all the tracks all at once. This also was, like I said, this was after Rock Band 3, so it had keyboards on there as well. So you can have a track with like 6 different. You can have a song with like 6 different tracks that you're jumping between, and it is incredibly addicting. You can see on the left side that the multiplier is going to like 14 times and stuff like that. Oh, it's really, really fun.
Ooh, it's got some good songs. Yeah, again, according to our good friend Wikipedia, it's got Jungle Boogie by Kool and the Gang. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I think they had a Blink-182 song. I can't remember. I think it was Alien. No, that's
Always.
Rock Band. Always,
dude.
yes, that's as they're going. And the cool thing was when you bought this, when you bought this game, all those songs were compatible with Rock Band 3 now.
That's crazy.
And the coolest thing also on top of that, because there was a bunch of songs, it was literally the price of a DLC pack.
Huh.
That's cool.
So it was such an awesome consumer-friendly move from Harmonix to release a game like this.
They were way forward-thinking in having their DLC move forward through games, because that's not easy to do. I assume
it was unfortunately the death of them.
Yeah, totally.
Because now Harmonix is a Fortnite developer. So
yeah, but they're still releasing Rock Band DLC tracks, I believe.
Yes, every week. But what's unfortunate is that usually they're pretty low effort. Like, because they're still re-releasing songs from the Rock Band network, which were songs that did not carry forward because they never actually had the license for those songs. Those were songs that the license holders or people on behalf of the license holders charted for them and then released as not unofficial DLC, but it was like DLC, like secondhand a little bit. It's hard to explain.
3 days ago, on August 10th, 2023, they released Locked and Loaded by The Brevet and Homesick by Honey.
Okay. Awesome. Speaking of Honey, Nave, have you ever played Rhythm Heaven Megamix or any Rhythm Heaven game? Or Rhythm Heaven game, for that matter?
I have, Aaron.
That sounds familiar.
Aaron, I played Rhythm Heaven. Aaron asked me.
Hey, Tommy, have you played Rhythm Heaven?
Yes.
Okay, that's the next one on my list. Think WarioWare, but rhythm minigames. And the minigames are just like the goofiest fucking nonsensical shit. Like, it'll be cat and a dog in airplanes having a badminton match up in the sky, and you're thwacking the birdie or whatever, timed to the beat and everything. Or there'll be like fruit falling down the stairs because a
Yep.
fucking shopping bag ripped, or like a wrestler dude getting an interview and you have to like time the camera flashes or something. But like it's just it's a funny good time. It's really stupid they haven't made a new one yet for Switch. I don't know why they haven't done it, because it'd be perfect if they fucking did it. Like, you could, doesn't even need to be motion, I mean, I guess it wasn't motion controls, it was just button presses. So why haven't they made a new one? Come on, Nintendo, fucking do something. Please, I need it. I really need it. It's fun.
This game kind of reminds me of a game I have on my list that I don't have. I have like a couple of like honorable mentions that I haven't actually played, and there's a game called Melatonin that I've been looking at. That looks kind
That
of
sounds
similar.
familiar. I think I've heard of that. I think it's a spiritual successor or whatever.
Yeah, it's very similar to what you're describing,
Aaron,
but it's
look it up.
it's like lo-fi music. Yeah, you should look it up. This is on
Make
Steam
sure
for
you
like
include game,
$10, I think.
or else you're just gonna get melatonin.
That's cool as fuck. Oh,
Yeah,
I
it's
like the
got a
way
really
this
cool
game
art
looks.
style. Yeah, definitely buy that, Aaron. I'm glad I could lay that one up. I don't know if it's great, but I mean, I haven't played it, but
Overwhelmingly
pretty
positive reviews.
Yep, too
Yeah.
late. Wishlisted.
As a counter to Aaron, I hated this game. I hated Rhythm Heaven. I played through the whole thing, and I was just left unhappy. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I liked the idea of all the mini games and all the rhythm and stuff, but each of them lasts like 30 to 45 seconds, and then it's over, and you go on to the next one. I'm like, well, this isn't satisfying to me at all. Like, it starts off with a simple beat, and then a little bit more complex beat, and then a little bit more complex beat, and then it's done. And I'm just like, oh, okay. I was enjoying that, but I guess we'll move on to the next thing. And I just did that on repeat for 100 games, and then I was done. And I was like, this. It didn't give me the WarioWare feelings. Yeah. It didn't give me the rhythm game feelings. But
it sounds very WarioWare, because WarioWare's mini games were like 2 seconds long.
Yep.
Just a rapid fire, which is part of the charm. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of hard to get in the flow state if the rhythm's very small. But I think they were probably trying to, because I see it's on the 3DS. So I think they were probably trying to like keep in that mentality of like bite-sized content, which is more successful on those handhelds.
Mm-hmm. But before we keep talking about music, let's do an ad break, because it's time to break for an ad.
Okay.
We'll be right back.
SuperPod Saga is brought to you today by our superstar patrons, A Novel Console, Jared, Jameson, and Adam. You're all as attractive and awesome as you are generous and gracious. Your support means the world to Tommy and I, and of course you're all number one. And we'll continue to pray to your names every single morning, noon, and night. Thank you all. We love you. Hey superstars, are you a coffee addict looking for your next big caffeine fix? Or are you just tired of all the normal boring coffee options out there now? Well, you need to check out Bones Coffee. Bones Coffee has lots of different varieties of coffee flavors. They've got things like red velvet, cookies and cream, s'mores. They've got one that's called Jamaican Me Crazy that's really good. It's like caramel vanilla rum kind of thing. But they also have just your usual, salted caramel and French vanilla and all that stuff. They even have decaf and what's called high voltage, which is just extra strength. And they've also got espresso. They've got all sorts of cool stuff. Plus, if you use coupon code SuperPod Saga at checkout, you'll get 20% off of your order. And again, that's SuperPod Saga at checkout to get 20% off. You can also follow the link in our episode description. And yeah, why not? Use that one-time coupon code. Like I said, 20% off. It's great. Head over to bonescoffee.com. Get yourself some coffee, some cool gear like mugs or French press kits, stuff like that. Check it out. Okay, bye. It's really important to stay hydrated. They say to drink 8 to 10 cups of water per day to stay properly hydrated, but sometimes that can be difficult to do and completely inconvenient, and most of us don't feel like carrying a gallon of water with us at all times. That's where Liquid IV comes in. Liquid IV is the category-winning hydration brand fueling your well-being, and their hydration multiplier is the one product you're missing in your daily routine. In just one stick, You get 5 essential vitamins and 2 times faster hydration than water alone. Use it first thing in the morning, before a workout, when you feel run down, after a long night out, or on long flights. Man, in Iowa, the summers can be brutal. 90 degrees and tons of humidity, and that just saps the energy and water right out of your system within just a few minutes. Luckily, Liquid IV hydrates 2 times faster than water alone, with 3 times the electrolytes of traditional sports drinks. It's very important to replace those electrolytes, you know? And I just love how quick and easy it is to use Liquid IV. You just get 1 packet and a bottle of water, and you just pour that packet into the bottle of water, shake the heck out of it, and bam, you are good to go. Since using Liquid IV, I felt way more alert, active, and just plain better versus drinking water alone. My favorite flavors to go to are the Yuzu Pineapple Energy Multiplier and the Tropical Punch Hydration Multiplier. I can't get enough of those ones. And what makes them even better is, like I mentioned earlier, they're packed with 5 essential vitamins like B3, B5, B6, B12, and vitamin C. And again, 3 times the electrolytes of traditional sports drinks. And they're non-GMO and free from gluten, dairy, and soy, which is just great. So you can get 20% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use code SuperPod Saga at checkout. That's 20% off anything when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code SuperPod Saga, SuperPod Saga at liquidiv.com. You have a great one, superstars.
Hey, Aaron and Nave, have you ever shared a car with other people while you're driving somewhere?
I think.
I don't think I've ever actually seen a car in real life.
Well,
Yeah,
this
what is
ad is
that?
not going to be relevant for you then, because this product is the newest, hottest way to keep your car passengers having a fun time. It's the carpool.
Oh,
It's the-
cool. What's a car?
It's a pool. It's a pool that you put in your car for everyone to have a fun time while you're carpooling around. That's the product.
What's a car, though?
What?
I fucking forget. Keep going. Sorry.
It's a pool that it's in your car.
What is that car? What's going immediately in my head is that car that's like part car, part pickup truck. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
What kind of car is that?
Is it? Are you thinking of the Chevy SSR?
I'm thinking no, it's like an old car.
Oh, an old car.
Oh, the El Camino?
El Camino. I wanted to say El Camino, but then I was like, no, I'm just thinking about that Black Keys album. And then
Oh, the El Camino.
Yeah, you could put a carpool in that car. You could put it in any car though.
yeah, this is
Does the
exactly
car-
what I was thinking of.
Is there like a water slide, or like does it come with like a beach ball
Yeah.
or anything cool?
Yeah.
Towels?
Yeah, well, it comes with those too. It's a really, really small slide because it has to fit in the car, so it doesn't, go very far. But it's there, and it's a carpool for your carpool.
Oh, here's one for you, Tommy. Okay, so you have the top to the water slide on like the roof of the car, but of course you have to. It's on like the sunroof kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
And you just kind of shimmy your way down the sunroof, and then you fall down the slide, like not even 2 feet, and splash in, and everybody's having a great time. And then there's a little swim up bar. There's a swim up bar in between like the front and back seats or something, and you can get like a Corona with a lime, and you can cheers Vin Diesel.
If you can't swim, then we have lifeguards for rent that will be part of your carpool and make sure that no one drowns.
How the fuck are you gonna fit that? How are you gonna fit the lifeguards in there? Oh, I guess they could sit in the middle of the back seat, little hump.
Yeah, exactly.
What if you get into a car crash though? Do you have to wear seatbelts, or like how does that work?
No, the water slows down all impacts.
Yeah, everyone knows that.
Oh,
like blunt force trauma is not as bad when you're in water.
Yeah, exactly.
so you're actually saving lives and having a great time with the carpool.
With the carpool.
Okay, what?
Thanks.
I'm really fucking hung up on this. The Black Keys album art for their album El Camino has a fucking van on it. And when I thought that the
Ooh.
car was called an El Camino, I was like,
You
no,
thought that?
because that album had a van on it. Why would it be called El Camino and not have an El Camino on it?
Boy,
Maybe
this
they're
is
just being ironic.
This is frustrating. I like
That's
their
so
cover
weird.
I like their cover for Brothers because it just says this is an album by the Black Keys. The name of the album is Brothers.
Yeah,
That's cool.
They're funny boys.
Yeah,
hang on,
thanks, Carpool.
Oh, okay. Yeah, thanks, Carpool.
We're back.
Back?
We're back to talk about music, video games, rhythm games.
I think it's your turn now, Tommy.
That's not good. We already talked about all my stuff with all the tangents we did.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
there's a lot of my list got knocked out in the middle of all those tangents.
Wait. I recently went
Okay.
to an arcade and I played Dance Dance Revolution for the second time, and I get it now. The first time I played it, I was a big dummy, and I was like, I can play this on hard. I'm a music rhythm boy. Why wouldn't I be able to play this on hard? And it was a nightmare. So this time I played it on the easiest difficulty and then moved it up to the one below that, which I don't think is quite normal. And I finally got it down. I got my feet in the rhythm. I was like, okay, here's the fun. I got it.
Were you holding on to the pro gamer
No.
like back bar?
No
Well,
way.
that's the problem. You literally can't play that game on hard and not hold on to that back bar because
I
like
believe
the
it.
buttons are coming at you so fast that your body literally can't support itself, and also unless you're like an anime like protagonist or something, your body can't support itself and also touch those buttons at the rate that it wants you to.
Yes.
So
trust me, I was like, this is impossible. No human being can move their feet this fast. I can barely. I am the last person that can dance too, so my feet don't move real good. But yeah,
Don't
playing on the
move real good.
intro and the easiest difficulty, I got that rhythm down. I was like moving, and like, okay, so moving your fingers from the first set of four over to the orange button. Like some people stretch it all the way over. I move my whole hand depending on the situation.
yeah.
I figured it out with the Dance Dance Revolution, where I was like, I had my right foot doing the front and back, and then I needed to reach over to the right, so I moved my feet over, used the left foot for the front and back, and I was like, oh, it's just like I'm doing Guitar Hero, but with my feet.
Yeah, like you get to a state where you're like you have your right foot in between the right and back, the right and down, and then you just tap forward for right and then tap backward for down. And then there's the odd moments where you have to do both at once, but like it's if you're holding the bar, it's never a problem. You can just
I gotta
lean
try that
back
next time.
on it and tap
Try that
down.
next time.
Also, a lot of people tend to stomp on them, and I think it depends on how well taken care of the game is at the arcade you're at. But like a lot of those machines, you don't have to tap that hard, and that's like really counterintuitive.
Yeah,
But
there's no feedback either. It's not like pressing a button at all. It's just ground. So I couldn't like that was another issue I had at first, was telling if I was hitting the button or not.
Also,
that's the problem with like rhythm games on cell phones. Let's
Mhm,
get
yes,
cell phone
absolutely.
gaming in general.
Also, shout out to Johnny Hardwick, the voice actor for Dale Gribble, who died the other day.
Yes. Speaking of Dance Dance
Yeah.
Revolution,
A
shout out to
huge
Dale.
fan of DDR. Lots of YouTube videos of him being an enjoyer of that franchise.
Well, I've got a couple more on my list. I could fart out real fast. What about Elite
Yeah.
Beat Agents? Did you guys play Elite Beat
Oh,
Agents?
I always wanted to. That was on my list of games to buy for the DS for years.
It's
Very good.
it's awesome. Like it's like these government agent dudes that go out and dance to different songs like YMCA and shit. But it'll
Jumpin'
be
Jack
like for
Flash.
the Jumpin' Jack Flash. It'll be to like the most mundane tasks though. Like there'll be a babysitter who can't control these 3 kids, but these motherfuckers like bust through her front door and they're like YMCA, or like you go
Yeah.
you'll get like a cat out of a
actually, it's the
tree or
YMCA
some
song.
shit. And then there's that what the fuck is it?
Yo.
Hang on, let me find the song.
I think they're all covers.
They
But-
are.
Oh yes. There's a cover of Survivor by Destiny's Child. I'm pretty sure that plays when you try to get that cat
Oh,
out of a tree.
there is.
Um, and
I need this.
I
the
don't see. Go
I
ahead.
guess I'm just gonna be the spiritual successor guy, but the spiritual successor to this is Osu
Oh
on the
yeah,
PC,
yeah,
which is a
man.
free game, I'm pretty sure, on
Yes.
Steam. But it is literally Elite Beat Agents. But there's no like background or anything. But it's just like Clone Hero, where all the songs are custom
Yes.
and charted by the fans. So
Tell me, sir, how do I downloaded this because I was like, rhythm game, need it. I couldn't figure out. There's not much for like tutorials and stuff, or at least when I played it, there was. So I couldn't figure out what the heck I was doing. There was so much going on.
yeah, there's a lot of I would recommend, because I think they have like pre-cooked songs, and those are like the tutorial ones. Because what a lot of people will want to do immediately is go find their favorite dubstep song and go play the shit out of that. But like, there's a lot of there's a number on them, and that's how many times you have to interact with that thing. And also, like, there are numbered notes, single notes, that are the order in which things are happening. And so each circle coming, or there's a circle that you're touching, and then an outer circle coming in, and you have to touch that circle as it
Oh,
happens. And you start to pay attention less to that outer circle because you're just in the flow state. But I would probably look up, because I bet there's a lot of cool tutorials on like YouTube and stuff that make things pretty simple. But
I need to stop being like so full of myself and trying these rhythm games at the hardest difficulty right away.
oh yeah, that game is not a game to fuck around with. That game is incredibly hard, even for rhythm like aficionados like me. Like, I don't play those games. I don't play that game on.
I
the
thought you were
hardest
gonna say
difficulty.
like us, and then you just said like you. Like, it's okay.
Damn, there's a lot of anime songs on there. Holy shit!
Oh yeah,
Genjutsu Escape.
that game was definitely taken over by the anime community, but I don't know if it was originally for them. But I think it is like a Japanese game, and it was like proliferated in Japan before it got like worldwide notoriety. But that's one of the top rhythm games, like, especially if you want to watch
That's cool.
people stream,
Yes.
because there are people who are really good. The hardest part about that game is, like, Elite Beat Agents, it's all touchscreen. This one is mouse, so you got to get really good at using your fucking mouse.
This Elite Beat Agents soundtrack has the most wild and diverse artists I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Sum 41, Avril Lavigne, Queen, Village People, Earth, Wind, and Fire, Jamiroquai, Ashley Simpson,
Oh,
Chicago,
Jamiroquai. Oh my
Good
god.
Charlotte, Hoobastank, The Rolling Stones, Cher. Just goes
Well,
on and on.
You definitely say diverse. It's diverse in sound, but like there's
Yeah.
definitely an era.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
Like,
absolutely.
But I'm here for it.
I need this. Do you think I could pirate this?
Probably.
Sick.
I mean, I don't know how pirating works on the 3DS stuff, but
Oh, when
Sure, it's
I've been
fine.
meaning, what I've been meaning to play but haven't fucking bought yet is Trombone Champ.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Trombone Champ.
forgot
We gotta
about
talk
that
about
game.
Trombone
Oh.
Champ.
I need it. I'm gonna buy
I don't
it
think any of
after
us have
this.
played it.
No, but I've
No,
watched
it
many
looks
people play
awesome.
it. And I gotta say, what really frustrates me about watching Trombone Champ is people playing it really well, because that is not why I'm watching you play Trombone Champ. I don't want to see people hitting perfect notes every time. I want to see people messing up so I can hear the trombone sounding like ass.
Blurb.
Or I watched one person play it, and it's reversed. Like, when you move the mouse down, it goes up. When you move the mouse up, it goes down. And he was like, "This is too difficult. I can't figure this out." And he just flipped his mouse upside down and was suddenly really good at it. And I'm like, "No, that's not how you're supposed to play."
Analog. That's the analog inverse.
Oh
Y-axis.
my god. How about have either of you dudes heard of or played Samba De Amigo?
I've heard of it.
Pretty good. I've played what is that game where the monkey ball, Super Monkey Ball? He's in that.
Same thing.
I think.
Yeah.
When's that new Samba
Well,
de Amigo come
wait.
out?
I think it's already out. Hang on.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. Hold on. Please hold.
Is it on Switch? Because that seems like the exact console it should be on.
Yes.
Yeah, it's on. Oh, it comes out August 29th. On the original game though, you played as the titular Samba, and you just had like a maraca peripheral that you used to like shake to the beat to all these Latin songs, and like the better you do in the song, the more like people will be attracted and then come watch you play and shit. And it's super super unique, super fun. It's one of the coolest games on the Dreamcast for sure. But Samba De Amigo, wait, I wonder how they're gonna do that in the new game. You shake your controllers. Duh, I'm so dumb.
Silly boy.
Shake the fucking Joy-Cons.
I want to get your guys' thoughts on Hi-Fi Rush.
It's fantastic.
Oh, it is
Hi-Fi
fantastic.
Rush is one of my favorite games that I played all year, actually.
Okay. So I should go back into it then.
Well, this is the problem: is that game is it's the way that it looks makes it seem like it's a lot more accessible than it actually is, because that game is actually ferociously difficult if you're even like somewhat rhythmically challenged. You know what I'm saying? I've seen some people who are just garbage at it. So I played the entire game on. I'm pretty sure I played the first time I played it on hard, and I was getting S's and A's throughout the entire game. And I'm watching people play it on like the easier difficulties and getting like D's and stuff. And I'm like, just hit on the rhythm. Like, what? How difficult? It not only do you just hit on the rhythm, you dodge on the rhythm, so you know when you're about to be hit. Like, all you have to do is just pay attention to like what's like the tells that the enemies are about to do. Or like even if you can't like juggle all of those things, just dodge all periodically. Like just like attack twice, dodge, then do a full combo, dodge. Like incorporate the dodges into your combos, because not only does it look cool and it makes it look like you know what you're doing, but it also like lets you turn off that part of your brain where you're like, okay, I don't even have to worry about the enemies anymore. I can just fuck people up.
Well, let me tell you,
dude.
Nave, as a person who gave up. For me, the issue wasn't hitting on the beat; it was the combos and stuff. I'm not a beat 'em up. I don't play those kinds of games like the Devil May Cries and stuff. I've never played those before. So the game threw a bunch of different combos at me, and I'm like, I don't know when to use these. I can't remember the order of button presses, and having my brain trying to think of what combos to use when and how to use them and where to be, while also trying to do it at the beat, was too much for my little baby brain.
I think that so to be completely honest, when I played the game, I was playing on hard and doing really well, but I was only utilizing like 3 of the 500 combos in the entire game. Like I would use 2 on the ground and 1 in the air, and those were always the ones that I used. And there were enemies that
Is
you
that
had.
Fun?
Yeah, it was still very engaging, because they ended up because you have the dodge, but you also get a grapple hook, and then you have your assist characters that come through the game as well. Like you unlock different assist characters who have different roles, they serve different purposes. And so the game, even though I'm only utilizing a small subset of the combos, and even if you mess up the combo, you do end up doing a different combo as you're like unlocking all of the different combinations of buttons. And so you will just keep you can just turn your brain on. Like it's like once I remember XXY and then XXYX or jump XXY to slam down, it's like that. Once you remember that, it's almost as if like you're learning to move your hand down and hit the orange button on Guitar Hero.
That's exactly the thought that was in my head. Was like, I think I just need to turn my brain off. I feel like I'm overthinking absolutely everything, because it's a lot coming at me at once, and I want to be perfect, especially when it shows that grading thing at the end. Like I read some people that were like, oh, don't worry about the grade, just play and have fun. I'm like, how can I not worry about the grade?
Yeah, well, that's a hard thing for me, like in Devil May Cry and stuff too, where it's like when it's like, oh, you got D for dumpy, and I'm like, oh, I don't feel good about that.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm with them. It's like you're gonna have to walk before you run in some games, and also some games just aren't for some people. So I've tried to push Hi-Fi Rush on as many people as I can. I've just came to the understanding that game is just a little too much. Like there's too much information happening, and it just happened to be exactly for me, where like some people just there are people who don't like Devil May Cry, and I'm like, okay, I accept that as well. That game's hard as well.
Aaron, tell me about your time with Hi-Fi Rush.
I'm gonna be honest. I was just looking through the Steam store, see what's on sale, and I bought Cookie Clicker because it's on sale for $3, along with Trombone Champ.
You bought Trombone Champ
and Cookie Clicker, but yeah, Hi-Fi Rush is like it's got that super unique art style, and it all feels like a Saturday morning cartoon. And I think I say that about a lot of games, but it really does have that kind of feel, because like all the different bosses, or like all the different bosses have like their own uh I guess like distinct like
Style.
attitude and personality. Yeah, play style and all that shit. And
Yeah.
it's and you come across different characters that join you as you fight, like what is it? Peppermint, and what's the big dude's name with the fist? They all have
Marcone.
fists. Yeah,
They
yeah,
all
there you
have like
go.
food names. I don't know.
It's
The
good.
game is
It's a good game.
incredibly charming.
Yeah,
The story
yeah.
mode as well is awesome. Even like if you're struggling with the combat for people listening, I think that even going through just to play the story, just limp dick through the entire game and get D's. It doesn't matter, but like enjoy the story for what it is. It's just like this kind of charming like
Yes.
PG story about acceptance and stuff like that. And I really love stuff like I really love stories whenever they're able to like wrap things up in a very nice and concise way when with like a bunch of charming and animated characters. Like every single character in this game has so much love put into them, even the enemies and stuff like that. So you're gonna have feels throughout the entire game. It's not gonna make you cry, I don't think, but I mean, like you're gonna enjoy yourself just experiencing what they had to offer narratively.
And
Yes.
the humor is usually pretty spot on too. Like the game is
Hmm.
just so goofy and funny at times, and
Yeah,
um, everything just looks fucking great. Like I haven't come across any like issues or like bugs or any shit like that. So it plays incredibly smoothly, and like Nave said, as long as you follow the beat, it's you really can't go wrong. Just time everything, and yeah, it's great.
It's just one of those games where you can tell the developers had like this very specific thing in mind for everything they wanted and just put their entire heart into it. And it came out from what I would want to believe exactly how they wanted it to.
yeah. It's really rare in this day and age that you get a game that's content complete, especially with
Yeah.
as much content and as charming and as well executed as this game on in the price that it came out at, which is like 30 or $40. That was very cheap.
Hmm. Hmm. Is that
Yeah,
is that it for the rhythm games? Did we talk about
that's
them all?
I mean,
that's
I
it
got a
for me.
couple.
Tell me.
Metal Hellsinger in
Oh shit, yeah.
lieu of
Oh
and
gosh.
then by extension bullets per minute BPM. Both games are very similar. BPM is a roguelike and it's a lot more indie, a lot less polished than Metal Hellsinger. Metal Hellsinger, for people who are enjoyers of the angry music, this is a first person shooter rhythm game where you have to shoot, dodge, uh, and whatever else, jump, and all that stuff to the beat in order to maintain your multiplier so that you continue to do maximal damage. The music is all original, which is
Ah.
it's composed by the composers of the game, but there are guest vocalists on every
Hmm.
one from bands like System of a Down, Ginger, uh, Trivium. They have more DLC. So there's the singer from Lorna Shore, who's an incredibly popular metal band right now. He guested on there, and I think Arch Enemy. There's a lot of awesome vocal performances, and I think the best part about this game is that it rewards you for doing well, because whenever you have maximum multiplier, that's the only time in which you hear the vocals kick in. So the moment you're in the middle of a fight and then you finally get to times 8, and then you hear and you're like, yes, yes, you just like fucking, it gets your blood pumping so hard. And when you get hit and the not multiplier falls down, you feel that urge, that primal urge to get that fucking guttural scream to come back. You know what I mean? And obviously not, it's not all screaming, because Ginger has awesome, beautiful, clean vocals. I love Tatiana, and I also love Serge Tankian's vocals and stuff like that. There's so much like beautiful uh what is it, synchronicities that you feel when you're playing this game. You get really into the flow state if you learn how to, like in Hi-Fi Rush, just turn your brain off and just dodge and shoot and all of that stuff. So if you're really proficient at first person shooters, this is a great game. And I would also say that this is a lot more accessible than Hi-Fi Rush, because the penalty for not playing on the rhythm is not nearly as high. But you're just not going to experience the music to the fullest extent, because the music gets more intense as you get better at attacking on the rhythm.
Cool. No, seriously, that does sound cool. That's a great idea. I heard like a decade ago, Harmonix was trying to make a game like that, and then they gave up on it because they were like, "Oh, it's just not working like we wanted it to." So I'm glad that someone at least figured it out.
It's very difficult to. It's incredible they pull it off. It's in the vein of boomer shooters like Doom. It's
Yeah,
very similar to Doom.
that's
The
my.
game's also on Game Pass right now. I
Oh,
don't know if it's going to be on Game Pass, how long it's going to be. So that might be outdated if you're listening to this in the future. But so there's really no barrier to entry if you have Xbox or PC Game Pass as well. Um, I had another one called Crypt of the Necrodancer.
oh yeah. How did we forget
Oh
about that?
yeah, that's a good one.
How did we forget about that?
On top, so I like this. I love rhythm games. It's my favorite, probably my favorite genre. What does that mean? Love rhythm games. Got to be my favorite gender. The Crypt of the Necrodancer. These games that mix rhythm into different genres in some kind of really interesting and unique way. This is a top-down roguelite where you're just dancing around on the beat and attacking different skeletons and slimes and stuff like that. And you have to just kind of pick up on everyone's different attack patterns and how they attack on the beat and rhythm and stuff like that. It's really fun and interesting. And they have a new spinoff. It's not new anymore, but a Legend of Zelda spinoff on the Switch where it's all music from obviously Zelda and it's remixed, so it's kind of like EDM versions of these songs. It's very cool.
What a great
and,
idea.
and that game's been out since 2015, and they're still updating it. Like
Jeez.
in 2022, I think they brought online co-op and multiplayer to it, and then even like before
Yeah.
that, they had an update that brought even more music and like familiars and shit. And I pulled all that off of Wikipedia, but I remember seeing the alert on Steam one day because I bought the game for like it was like on sale for $4 on Steam one day, so I bought it. But that is an awesome game, super unique as hell.
Excellent. Anyone have any other last minute entries?
No chef.
I got like one random one that I haven't played yet, but it's been on my docket for a while. That's called Sayonara Wild Hearts.
Oh, I played
I've seen
that.
that
I
one.
think is that on the Apple Arcade?
I think it's on a handful of things. It's probably on Steam, Arcade, iOS, Switch, the gambit that a lot of these indie games are on. But it's something that it's been in my peripheral vision for a while, and I'm not really quite sure what it is. But I want to put it on people's radars for people who like uh indie experimental games. But it seems like just kind of a poppy rhythm game with like cool visuals and stuff.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I don't
Nave,
remember playing it, unfortunately, but
Crypt of the Necrodancer got a seventh additional soundtrack by Masafumi Takada, consisting of Danganronpa songs.
Whew.
That's pretty cool.
Holy shit, that sounds incredible, actually. Danganronpa is a bitchin' soundtrack.
Sayonara Wild Hearts is narrated by Queen Latifah.
Oh, right on. What doesn't she do?
And that's it. That's all the rhythm games that exist. We didn't miss any of them.
Nope, not a single one.
No. Thank you, Nave, for being here. Your expertise was exquisite.
Yeah,
No
sorry.
joke.
I like to
Definitely
go
was.
on long rambling tangents about stuff. It's hard to
that's good.
contain.
That's what we want.
It fits perfect. Yeah, it fits perfectly into the SuperPod Saga formula.
Yeah. Where can people, if they want to hear you talk about games more because they liked you so much today, where can they find you?
Or Pizza Hut.
Yeah, the guy took me to Pizza Hut. I am on Gaming Together Cooperative Podcast on all the podcast catchers and stuff. We also are on Twitter at Game Together Pod, and I think I have a playlist of all of the shows that I've guested on. I need to shout this out a little bit more because people don't know. There's a Spotify playlist of like 58 hours of guest appearances on different shows. And so I'm always trying to find more people to talk to and bring a giant community get together. And I love supporting those guys. So obviously all of those will give them downloads. And if you're into music, I was on a episode of Top 3 podcast with Dave Jackson, who wrote in on this episode. And we talked about our favorite albums that we can binge from front to back. So that's kind of tangentially related to this. Then you can kind of see my actual music tastes and all of their varied music tastes and stuff. stuff like that. So yeah, I'm always somewhere.
Yeah, and Aaron, if people didn't like Nave and they just want more of us, where can they find that?
Oh, tough for them because Nave's on like 5 of our
Yeah,
episodes,
true.
but uh, SuperPodSaga.com. Again, all of our episodes, our blog. If you enjoy the show, consider becoming a patron, or you can leave us some money on Coffee or
Mhm.
Ko-Fi, or however you say it. Then all of our socials are there too. If you want to follow us, we also will have Nave's socials there too, just in case. But SuperPodSaga.com.
Next week, we're gonna. Okay, this might be hard. I hope it's okay though. I want to
Okay.
talk about your favorite games or series that you haven't played. Games or series
Ooh.
that you appreciate from afar.
Oh, that's a good one. There's a lot of stuff I haven't played that I.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, good. I'm glad you're happy. That
Okay.
makes me
Okay.
happy.
Could it be like a game franchise that you wanted to get into, or like
Yeah,
that, and you played for a little bit, and you're like, I don't know.
maybe. I'm sure that'd be fine. I'm not picky, but yeah, stuff like that.
That
That
sounds
sounds
awesome.
like it could be its own thing too. Put that in your pocket. That's for free.
That's for free. Okay, I'll put it in my pocket. It's going
Future
right in the
episode.
wallet.
As long as I'm in it.
Right in the wallet next to my Costco card. Okay. Thanks for listening, everyone. Check out Nave. Check out more SuperPod stuff. You're beautiful, and we love you. Bye.
Bye.